Joining me here now is one of my favorites in the business. He's the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Robert Saleh is here. Great to see you, sir. How are
Appreciate
you?
Man. I'm great.
First order of business, I got to get into it with you, sir. Thank you on behalf of the Bald Brotherhood for doing what you are doing, sir. I think we have the actual evidence right here. Look at that bald, beautiful staff.
Bald is beautiful.
Are
Rich.
you aware
Look at it.
what you have done? Did you at any point in time say, I'm only hiring bald people here?
You know, they say in a hiring process, you usually hire people you find are similar to you.
Yeah.
So maybe it was an unconscious thing, but I can tell you this much. Those are unbelievable football coaches right there.
Well, they're great at what they do.
They are great at what they do.
And they are beautifully bald. And I feel like I'm Larry David right now. On behalf of everybody follically challenged, I am rooting for your success, sir.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations. So you did not realize that you have put together the baldest staff in the national.
My attention afterwards.
No visors. You can't have visors on the staff. You got to cover it up, man.
See, I never wear a hat, so let's see if they do the same.
All right, we will see. Well, congratulations on the staff that you've put together. And what did you like about the Tennessee Titans job? What did you see in this team that you're like, I want this gig right here?
You know, there's a few things. First and foremost, I think the people and within the organization are outstanding. You know, starting with Miss Amy all the way down, just really authentic people who just want to win. And then you just look at overall just a blank canvas along with the quarterback. It was very exciting. You know, fortunately, I've been on the front end of a lot of different situations in my career, starting in Houston, going to Seattle, Jacksonville, to San Francisco, to New York. And, you know, one thing that I found very, very easy was building a football team. But, you know, finding that quarterback has always been kind of difficult. And
no doubt.
You look at a guy like Cam Ward, who we're all really excited about. We think he has a real chance to be something special.
What excites you about him?
You know, he's a very confident young man. He's an elite worker. He's truly authentic in who he is. And then you look at the arm talent and his ability to create off schedule. He's just scratching the surface with regards to the game of football. And really looking forward to just trying to create some stability for him. You know, you go back to his college career and in the NFL, he's had a lot of coordinators, a lot of different systems, and just trying to create a new foundation for him to continue to build off of and get better off of every single day. And again, he's a young man that works so hard that I just find it hard to believe that he won't find success.
Yeah, not many people go from incarnate word to first overall selection.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like it takes a certain guy. Belief in self, journeys like that. That's obviously why you want to have somebody like that on your team. The ESPN radio audience is back. We've got Robert Saleh right here on the Rich Eisen Show as part of our ESPN cable and Disney Plus and ESPN radio simulcast here on the program. The time that you had in San Francisco after, you know, your time with the Jets, and you had some time to sit here and think, I get another head coaching gig, I am not going to do this, or I will not allow that to be set up in a way that I don't want it. How have you brought that to Tennessee right now?
Yeah, that's a fair question, and you know, and we could stay here for a couple hours and go through all of it, but you know, the one thing I keep repeating myself on is that there's really there's no handbook for a first time at anything you do.
Right.
You know, like there's no handbook for a first time owner, no handbook for a first time host. There's no handbook for a first time head coach. And I think we could all agree that if we look back at our first day, we'd all agree that we're more prepared for our moments than we were back then. And there was a lot of things that I learned throughout that process that I'm taking with me. There's a lot of things that I'm leaving behind, and there's still a lot of room for me to grow also. And you know, so like I've said, I'm grateful for the opportunity I had in New York. I'm more prepared now than I ever was, and just really looking forward to this one.
I'm with you, Robert. I mean, we'll sometimes show video of moments from 10 years ago on the show. And it's tough for me to watch that stuff, honestly, because I think I'm better at what I do now than I was then. I'm watching some interviews where I know I'm kind of struggling for the next question with this interview subject. I just know what's going on in my head watching it back. and it's tough for me to do. So I'm wondering, what are you doing different? What are you going to do differently?
Yeah,
like, you got a specific one that you can
there's
share here?
There's always pushing the envelope with what I'm gonna do, like from an evolution standpoint. But the most superficial one, just one of the things that I feel is my strengths is my connection to the players. And I felt not calling plays, for example, in New York, kept me from being able to connect to the players the way I feel like I need to be able to build the relationships that are needed to have success.
Yes.
So it is one thing that I am adamant about doing, just to help me stay connected to the guys and to the team for that matter. But that's probably the most superficial one. But there's certain things within the office, how we're scheduling, how we're meeting. My time in Green Bay with Matt LaFleur, I thought some things that he did was really cool. And not that we're doing things exactly, but just to cherry pick one or two things here or there, and then going back to San Francisco and piecing the puzzle back together. You're always kind of evolving and you're always growing, and not being closed-minded. There's always two ways to approach things. That when you don't have success, you can either, from an egotistical standpoint, you can point the finger and say, well, you kind of got screwed in the process, or you can look inward and just try to find ways to get better and find your weak spots and try to make them strengths. And that's kind of what I've been doing for the last year and a half.
It's kind of crazy how things work in the NFL. I mean, a crucial aspect of what you have delegated to Brian Daboll is pretty huge. And I'm wondering what you can share with us about how you envision that partnership.
Yeah, it's ultimately it's a partnership, really, in all three phases.
Yeah.
And like I said, really, really excited about the staff that we were able to put together, especially when you consider all the competition. I think there's 18 OC jobs open this year. There's 10 head coaching jobs, and there was a lot of movement, more movement than normal in our league. And there was a lot of competition for Gus Bradley. There was a lot of phone calls to get Bones out from his role. There was a lot of competition for Daboll, and for them to choose us amongst all the offers that they were given, I think it's a testament to what we have going on over here. And to speak on Daboll, there's a lot of empathy between he and I, and just an understanding of how to handle things. We've been through the same. We bounced ideas off each other when we were both in New York, and I'll continue to do the same thing here, along with Gus and Bones. And so from a staff standpoint and building it, you talk about what's different. The staff is much more experienced than my first staff in New York. So just taking a different approach and leaning into guys who have done it before, who have had a lot of success in this league before, and who have constantly evolved who they are in this league. So it's exciting to have all three of them.
Well, obviously, and again, Daboll in particular. You just asked Josh Allen about how important Daboll was in his growth. Obviously, Jackson Dart last year is another one. Daniel Jones, the year that Daboll won Coach of the Year, was spectacular in that role. So what's the growth you're looking to see from Cam Ward with Daboll at the controls?
The expectations are going to be the same, and it's why I was so attracted to Daboll. And like I said, with the experience aspect, he's done it before.
Yeah.
He's done it with not once but multiple times. He's a guy that we've had to go against several times. We've practiced against him. I just love the way he operates. I love the way I love his mindset. I love the way he speaks to his players. I love the confidence that he injects into his players, along with the accountability that he holds and the standard that he holds them to. He is a no-nonsense coach, but he does it in a way that still shows the love that these players need. And so when you're looking at a guy like Dabes, he's not going to be here long. We're going to have success. We're going to win a lot of football games. He's going to get another opportunity also.
4th overall pick. Obviously, you're not going to reveal anything just yet. It's still also being formulated right now. What's your approach for this crucial first selection for you as the HC of the Tennessee Titans?
There's a lot of things that still got to take place. Obviously, this is the first one. This one gets the most attention, but there's so many Zoom meetings. There's informals that are happening. There's pro days that are happening. There's private visits that are happening, the 30 visits that are happening. And so this is just scratching the surface with regards to the information that we're gathering. And I think when you're drafting 4th overall, we're in a position where we can draft the best player on the board, and whoever that is, when we're done with the evaluation process, is going to be the big winner.
But how, I mean, again, just to revisit the fact that your quarterback's in place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you took the job and you know what Cam Ward has done. You've already seen what he did last year. You're able to have that handled. What about the rest of this team that you're ready to get your hands on here, specifically that
there's
mentioned here?
Everything that we do is always going to involve the quarterback in
Right.
terms of helping him develop. And so building a football team that can support him. I think, especially when you're a young quarterback, asking a young quarterback to carry a team 60 plays a game is a little unrealistic. So for all of us, as we go through this process, just being mindful of what actually helps the quarterback just be a quarterback and just be a piece of the puzzle. There's going to be a time when Cam puts his team on his back, and it could be this year, depending on how he develops as a player. But asking him to do that and expecting him to do that, I do think is unrealistic. So everything that we do, all our meetings, everything that we do is going to be about the quarterback and his development, along obviously with the rest of the roster.
And Jeffrey Simmons might season him up a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
Well, the two of them went at it last summer. I don't know if you're aware of that from your position in San Francisco. The two of them would go at it. Cam Ward and Simmons.
Cam's not going to back down from anyone. He's
Right.
an ultra competitor. That's why I'm driven to him. He's not fake either. Just he's been in the building every day, just going through his workouts and all that stuff. And I don't think there's a day that goes by where he doesn't go through the entire building to say hello to people. And
Right.
I just find it so impressive that a young man, and especially in this day and age, I think he knows every single person in the building, their name and what they do. And for him to be, just as a rookie with all the stuff that's happening, to be conscientious enough to go through and just learn everybody,
Right.
I think that it says a lot about who he is. The young man wants to win just like we all do, and
Simmons is nasty.
And Simmons,
right? You can do some things
oh
with
man,
Jeffrey Simmons.
When you talk about Jeffrey, we've had some good ones in our system,
Sure.
from Buckner to Armstead. I mean, Quinnen Williams is pretty damn good, but
Sure, yeah.
Jeffrey is he's up there with all of them. I'm really excited for him and his opportunity, and really excited for us to get our hands on him and cut him loose and see him operate in our system.
I had Kyle Van Noy on the show last week. You're a perfect person to ask about this. He thinks defensive tackle is now becoming more of an elite position than edge rushers, because the edge rushers, because the quarterbacks get rid of the ball so fast, and offenses are getting faster like that getting the pressure up the middle is now the new edge position. Would you agree with that?
What? Anywhere you can generate pressure, but offenses have gotten very, very good with regards to protection.
Yeah.
They know exactly where to slide, who to chip. They're finding ways to get four hands on at least three of your players, and most of the time it's two edge rushers and one of the interior guys.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time it's one of your inside guys that is going to get the one-on-one. And so yeah, if you have a guy like a Jeffrey Simmons, you've got a chance to win more one-on-ones. You're going to force the slide, and you can force protection to go away the way that you want, so you can kind of manipulate it the way you need to. But so yeah, I guess, I mean, Myles Garrett, I think, would have something to say about that.
Yeah, no, right. Well, Myles can also wind up lining up there anyway, right?
Yeah, Myles can go anywhere, but
yeah, right, sure.
But the edge rusher is always going to be the high sack guy. But
Sure.
to be able to get that pocket push, especially with these young men, when, like you said, the ball's getting out pretty quick, the fastest way to get pressure into his lap to make him flinch is through the middle of the defense. And if you can do that, it's always beneficial.
Yeah, and those are the first guys that are out there on the field on Thursday. Congrats on getting a well-deserved second crack at this, man.
Appreciate you.
I'm very excited for you, and thanks again on behalf of all of us follically challenged people to do what you've done to put this staff together. I can't get enough of it. And just to show you I'm all about it as well, Omar Khan was sitting there before you, and Brad Holmes is coming here next. Nobody
Another bald, beautiful
with
man.
hair is allowed to appear on this show in this hour. You know what I mean? I'm all about it, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Good to see you.